All right, everyone, Supreme Kami over here. So Thursday night, and they actually dropped a brand new banner, like literally not any step up. This is a Lightning Zeta Gundam capsule. Okay, so I believe last year around the same time, literally the same time slot as last year, they dropped it a surprise banner just like this, same like the overall banner image. I think last year they dropped it, the EXS, like a surprise, like randomly dropped it. I think a lot of people were caught off guard by this, but I'm pretty sure some folks were able to predict the fact that they may follow the same structure as how they did it last year, and here we go. So in terms of the Lightning Zeta Gundam, although it may be a pretty good unit overall, I definitely like it because this is a unit from the Tri Fighter series. I believe this unit was exclusively made by what was that guy's name? Gosh, I forgot I literally forgot his name, but he was entering for the Meijin's is it the artistic whatever cup is going for? So he literally built that, and then into the other guy, he built the Super Fumina. So you know what, if we can see this unit right here, I'm definitely excited to see if we can potentially get a Super Fumina in game, like because we do have a Mai in game already, so why not have a Super Fumina? But in terms of this unit, do you want to summon on it? That is going to be the big question. I am going to say no, because right now we are literally 7 weeks into having a limited week, and next week should be another SoCal week. So we are going to be 8 weeks out of 8 weeks going into like a limited week. So no, this unit right here does not really fulfill anything of or like anything that you really need. I think most of the things that we have gotten from the last few weeks has been covered already. I do have myself the trusty Excel sheet over here just going to be talking about. This time around I did included the portrait. I think people were they wanted to know the portrait as well, add in the attribute. But if you guys do want to see the full version, definitely go over to the GNL Discord server. They definitely do have a full copy of this. Right now what I'm using is like an excerpt. I just purely want to show you guys specifically on this part, the shot attack. I'm not even including any of the other stuff, right? Because we will be hopping into the alteration page and just gonna see how they're looking like. In terms of this overall banner, this banner, I do have to say the rate will not be good at all, because you're not gonna be getting any like step up, so you're not gonna be able to get like a guarantee part per se. So you are gonna have your 16% guarantee right there. So one of the part is gonna be 16% going to be a 6 star, so the rate is not going to be all that good. I'm just gonna tell you guys. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a banner to skip. If you guys do want to get the unit, for example, I would have to say wait until they have it as a pickable. Like they should have like I want to say the release of this banner 4 weeks or 5 weeks into it. They should have it as like in the general pool. So whenever they do bring back like a Thursday, like whenever they always bring back the step up banner, this unit should be there. I want to say give them like maybe 4 to 5 weeks. I think then it should be added. But I think just overall, like I think people right now are pretty much burdened by the fact that we just have so many like non-stop limited banner releasing, and like there's no way of getting that much horrors, right? And like I think the most important thing is like you just can't summon on every banner, because like if you guys are a free-to-play player or just a casual player, there's just no way of like, oh, let me try to summon on everything on every week. It's just impossible, right? So yes, do definitely have to be careful and just kind of be smart about your horrors and just trying to pick parts that really work for your overall build. Just try to focus on one specific build, not really that one specific build, but try to focus on building around the same word tag that you have been working for, because in terms of this overall build, I have to say that in terms of Lightning Zeta, it is a little bit more centered towards a Gundam type build, which is to me personally, that's not my style. So if I were to pull any part, for example, I couldn't really use this. So that's why you do have to be really smart and just kind of looking into the overall portrait, what it's actually doing, does it fit your own build. So yeah. But in terms of the typing for the Lightning Zeta, I am kind of disappointed again, because right now we're literally on the edge of like, where is my S attribute? They have been releasing so far. They released it 3 different P attribute. we have 2 tech attribute, and then the only speed attribute that we have is actually from the build projects in Nenju, which is probably not going to be attainable by a lot of people. So what's going on? Like, are they gonna drop another tech attribute before they want to drop another speed attribute? Like, come on now, that's just kind of not right to me personally. But alright, without any further ado, let's kind of take into a look at the Lightning Zeta. So how good is it? I would have to say, so you guys can definitely see what kind of portrait we're looking at. So these right here, the one simply, this is like the presenters, they're not your trait, they're EXQ trait or the EXQ effects, so kind of ignore them, I guess. But in terms of what kind of good portrait we have for the head so far, I would have to say the second V and then the Wing Zero definitely are the top runner up, because these two are pretty good. This one is definitely good, 40% trade. This one is not bad as well. Initial charging at max, so not bad. But in terms of the Lightning Zeta, we have let's see. The overall stat, you guys can see that is actually going to be lower than your second V and wing, or the Wing Zero, so that is pretty good. So that right here literally tells you don't really want to go for the headpiece right here. But other things to really worth mentioning, not really, I guess. The physical resistance isn't that high enough where I wouldn't consider using it in, let's say, physical resistant arena per se. Not really that good. In terms of the overall word tag wise, Gundam type and mid range. So mid range is going to be another prominent tag in this overall specific build. So that may or may not be, good for you guys. But I personally do feel like if you do have the 4-star mid-range gear, if you are going to pair that up with Ace exclusive Commander together, I'm pretty sure you should be able to build a extremely powerful build, because I have been seeing a trend of them actually releasing a lot of mid-range lately. With that, like, we have the second V actually does have a few mid-range tags, so I'm pretty confident that you can actually build a pretty good overall stat with using mid-range instead of, like, let's say Gundam type or high firepower. But I do have to say mid-range right to this day right now is still one of the less using tag, like in the higher tier. So but not to doubt the overall word tag is extremely good with if you're gonna pair that up with the 4-star word tag gear. So yeah, but if you did pull the head, I would try, I would tell you guys, don't really alterate it at the point of time, because I think the top 2 head you want to aim for is definitely going to be these 2 if whenever we have pickable tickets. So yeah. Alright, moving on to torso, how we looking. So alright, torso tab over here, make this a little bit bigger for you guys. So in terms of overall torso, I would have to say, alright, this one is definitely going to be on a different level, because this one is actually providing a EXQ reduced by 20%. But I'm not sure why it's only capping out at 20, because we have been seeing lately the 30 or the 23%. So this right here, this suspect to me that this was actually not made during like this 7-star period. It may or may not be something that they have planted like a long time ago and just right now just trying to push it out with a 7-star stat. But I don't know. I feel like we do have the free to play version, so going for this one may not be the best case scenario. And do keep that in mind, these two are actually going to be locked into a time getting up 10 seconds over here. But in terms of the cooldown build, so let's say your cooldown build does not have any initial charge boosting, so you have to wait for that duration to kind of expire, like the first time usage is just gonna expire in order for these to kind of roll. So I guess it doesn't really matter too much. But in terms of trying to deal like a good overall damage, nope. you're literally being capped right there. So this one may not be your best option, I guess then. But overall stat for the other guys are, let's see. So melee defense is actually not bad at all. You are looking at 2,000 or 2,000, 6,000, excuse me. Armor wise is exceptional as well, like 7,000. That's actually not too bad. Word tag wise, Gundam Tank at mid range is probably not your best combo, obviously. But our next one that has mid range is actually second V, so that's why I said you can definitely build something within like Commander, Ace exclusive, and mid range. It should be pretty powerful, I must assume. But in terms of overall torso, probably not. I don't know. I feel like the time getting can be an issue. Like 15 seconds, you can say it's not too long, but you know, if you are in battle already, every second does kind of count. So I would say probably not. You know, I don't know. It really depends on your overall build. If your build, let's say, don't have any initial charge boosting, so you have to wait for like 20 seconds or 30 seconds before you can use your custom EX skill or any of the other EX skill. I guess that's good. But if you're using like the shorter time EX skill, I think usually their first time uses is like around 6 seconds or 8 seconds. Then within that 7-second period, you're not really getting any EX skill boosting, so that's kind of like kind of like a dead trade on the spot already. So no, kind of no for me. And then due to the war tech nature, probably not going to be your best investment. You know, so that's how bad it is at this point in time. Look at it. But in terms of overall arm, the arm does actually have a pretty gimmicky EX skill. It's one of those EX skill that is on a shorter cooldown. So it's going to be one of your 20-second or 21 seconds cooldown and 6-second users. So it is alright. So in terms of overall animation, it just kind of brings you to like a kind of like a cutscene. Does have its own animation, so kind of happy about that. Because we really have not gotten any short animation, like short cooldown, but with a fantastic EX skill animation, so that's why this is like perfect, you know. But I do wish the fact that they could maybe raise an attack somewhere in here, but kind of unfortunate. But in terms of overall stat, right now it's actually one of the lowest one that we're looking at over here. And then a war tag, if you compare to the other one, it's not gonna be like your general ones like Ace exclusive, high firepower, or even commander and high firepower. So actually I could not include the second V because the second V arm is actually an arm plus integrated shield, so that's why that one was not included. If you talk about what is going to be the best 7-star arm to be looking for, it's definitely going to be the Rock Royale because it does come with a 40% trait, high firepower and ace exclusive. That definitely a really good tag selection right there. If you do have to compare to the Lightning Zeta, probably 0 to none. So yeah, definitely not a best investment. Even an EX skill, I want to say that Project Alteration, it should be a B+ power already. So it's not really gonna worth the Alteration as well, because like B power should give you good enough power already. So yeah, I just feel like the arm could be better, but not really at this one in time. Yeah. Melee defense is extremely low. Armor wise, it's not too high. No beam resistant, and then minimal physical resistance. But yeah, overall, I think this is purely going to be for like the aestheticness of using it as an EX skill. But in terms of like just overall, let's say stat sticking, you don't really get that here, so kind of unfortunate. So even the Barbados one is looking, the barbaric arms is looking a lot more better. So but overall, I think the overall stat, they're not really too far apart, but just the fact that this one doesn't have a portrait, and the word tag wise is kind of like on the kind of like not really wonky. It's just kind of hard to build around with if you're not using mid range, for example. So yeah, moving on to the leg. So all right, so switching over to the leg tab over here and make this a little bit bigger. So in terms of overall leg so far, I think everything so far has you know, portrait, except for the Hakashiki. Yeah, why doesn't the Hakashiki has EX? Does it have EX skill? Let me see. I don't know what EX skill is. Oh yeah, okay. I'm like, what? But in terms of the leg, yeah, let's see what we have over here. So overall stat, just kind of look at it. Okay, this one is definitely looking a lot more better. All category is looking a little bit better from this one over here, so that's kind of good to see actually. But in terms of the portrait, yeah, this is definitely not cutting it. So this one is attacking with beam, so you're really limited in terms of what kind of EX you can be using. So that's not going to be good, first of all. And this one is only a 30 to a 35 split. So you guys can definitely see that currently, or in terms of the 7-star rarity right now, we don't really have a double 40% trait. So that is definitely something yet to get. But if you guys do have any investment into the 6-star rarity that has 40% trait, I feel like going for this one is probably not going to be your best option. This one is just too plain simple. I'm just gonna say not really worth the alternating. Like, be compared to like Rock Royale, I think Rock Royale is definitely something you want to get, because this one actually comes with an EXQ reduced by 23%. So that's definitely something of a more gimmicky than just your plain old power boosting. So because we do have the 40% trade variance already, so I feel like alternating for this one is probably not gonna be your best case scenario to me personally. More tag wise, in this one just finally have ace exclusive, so that's kind of good. But other than that, like this one's probably too general, where I'm just kind of like, yeah, why go for it, you know, because we do have the 40% trade ready. Like that really goes same for all the other ones, because this one is this one is more for like a tank build, because you are going to be able to revive, so not really going to be that solid overall. This one is going to be literally the same. Well, this one is a build project, so it's going to be a lot more harder to get, but this one and this one is literally the same, so they're going for like your cooldown reduction type build, so they're definitely on a different level than, let's say, this one. So this one just kind of like, yeah, why I wouldn't bother alternating it. So in terms of overall stat, you guys can see that it's not really top of the line, obviously. It's gonna fall right in between the Wing Zero, Rock Royale, and then all that. So if you guys do already have those other options, I feel like they could be better already, just because what they're offering is gonna be a little bit more different. It's not gonna be your same generic one with that we have gotten a 40% trade already. So me personally, I would probably skip out on alternating the leg pieces over here. So yeah. Alright, moving into the backpack. The backpack is definitely something we want to see, you know. The backpack is probably going to be a cooldown reduction trait for our shooting build over here. So prior to that, we had the barbaric that is actually the same, literally the same thing. So this one is actually worth alternating, because this one is going to give you attack attribute, what EXQ cooldown reduced by 23%. So that is definitely something good. Like, you would have to alternate in order to get that, because that is going to be a secondary trait. First trait is already excellent, so it's going to be giving out a 40% trait, so that is really good. So I think the top two choices right now currently we have for shooting bay is definitely going to be the simplest one over here, the Zeta, the Lightning Zeta, as well as the Wing Zero. So Wing Zero is definitely more going for that purely offensive base, while this one is definitely working towards a 100% cooldown build. So this one is actually good. So if you guys did manage to pull the backpack, this is definitely the one you want to alternate, given the reason rate over here. So not bad overall, not bad. So moving on to the ranged weapons over here. So I actually did include everything that we have so far. This one, one of them is the Rolling Buster. So this one is the Rolling Buster. They both have the same stat. In terms of the second view, we have two rifles as well, same as the Hakashiki. But in terms of the overall stat, but let's actually take a look at this one first. This one is actually not too bad actually. This have some decently armor, I guess, you know. The stat is like 16k, that's kind of crazy. There's a little bit of a shot defense, so that's gonna be really good. We're talking about the 40% change here on this one over here. Tag wise on this one is definitely acceptable, and Gundam type and ace exclusive. But in terms of overall trade, this one is definitely going to be locking you down to using a Gundam type. So this one, I can say it's like literally the opposite of our second V over here. The second V has the high firepower variant, so that's why I say like this build specifically is gearing toward a Gundam type build. If you talk about, oh, let's say I had invested into the second V already, which I did for me personally, we are only going to be looking at a flat out I want to say roughly about, you know, 200-ish or even like a 100 and something differences over here. So you're not really looking at a really big like gap. So this right here purely depends on what kind of build you guys are looking at. If you are someone that runs high firepower, this one is definitely going to be it for you. If you are someone that runs, let's say, Gundam side, then this one is probably going to suit you a lot more better. In terms of all the other ones that we have gotten so far, like the Hakashiki was good because this was providing the EXQ cooldown reduced, so that this one is definitely going to be on its own level. All the other one are just kind of, yeah, all the other ones just not too good at all. Like enemy shooting power reduced, probably not a trade that most of you guys run. This one, these two are bad, so yeah, kind of unfortunate. So I would have to say the best two ranged weapon 7-star that we have currently is definitely going to be right now the newest one, the Lightning Zeta, as well as the, you know, the, what is it, the second V's Mega Beam Cannon over here. So these two are going to be the top recommendation if whenever we do have any pick tickets. So yeah. But this one is definitely going to be good if you are someone that's running Gundam type. So definitely a must trade for sure. Alright, moving on to the last thing over here. So we have the shield, which is probably one of the gonna be another letdown over here. So we currently only have 3 shield that is specifically for, you can say, shooting beam specifically. In terms of out of these 3 shields, I think the best one from the set is definitely gonna be this one, because this one is gonna be a lot more easy to obtain. While this may build project, yeah, this one is just no. So I think if you guys are able to put a shield, definitely hold off onto it, because in terms of the overall EX skill from this one, it's just gonna be alright. Remember how last year we have the Gundam and it has like a shield EX skill. So the overall animation is literally exactly the same as this one. So kind of like the same boring animation wise. So but this one is going to be on a beam perspective, unlike the one we had last week, which is on a physical based perspective. So overall, if you guys are able to put a shield, I would have to say kind of skip out on the alteration, just because of the fact that we should be getting more better ones later on, definitely. So simply right now, alterating it in 7-star, this part right here is probably not going to be the best bet. If you guys do like the EX seal, for example, you can definitely alterate it to gain more power. But if you're talking about 7-starring it, probably not going to be your best choice over here. I would have to say, if you guys can wait, definitely try to wait for the Wing Zero shield, because this one is offering an enormous amount of buff EX skill effects. So this one is definitely going to be the king for the shooting based shield currently. But I have to say one more time, I would say the costume shield is still better, because the 8 seconds condition right here definitely throws it up. So, but with that being said, that is gonna be pretty much it. So I genuinely feel like this the Lightning Zeta doesn't really pack too much of a good stuff overall. Stat wise can be a little bit mediocre if you just kind of simply compare to some of the other one. I don't think any of the part is actually ranked at the highest. I don't know. It's literally in between the packs, so probably not going to be your best options to kind of get any of these parts, except for the backpack. Yeah, okay, I'll give you to that. So 1 out of like how many are actually on top. So yeah, this right here literally just give you like a quick guidance of like what kind of style we're looking at, purely talking about like the statistics, how good it is. But if you guys do like the Lightning Zeta, you guys can definitely summon for it, but if not, definitely stay up for it, what kind of upcoming banners we should have. But with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one.